Hello, and welcome back to another exciting homework lecture in Accounting 2302 with your host, Professor Naragon, coming right to you with Chapter 17 in our McGraw-Hill textbook. So, with this chapter, we bring on two new types of basically costing and departmental overhead and the ABC activity-based cost. So we're going to bring it out. We only have 10 really workout questions in this chapter, and some of them are going to be huge, some of them are going to be really small. First one starts out pretty easy. This is only trying to figure out plant-wide overhead. Plant-wide overhead, of course, is what we've already done in the past few chapters. So all we have to do is take whatever our overhead cost and divide it by our machine hours. So, using our fancy calculator, we're going to take the 559. Oh, we need down here 559, and we're going to divide it by the good old 6,500. And it should be 86. 86. Okay. And of course, always hit check my work just to make sure you're doing your math correctly. This question isn't really so tough. So let's go ahead and move on to question number 2. Now, question number 2 starts getting us department overhead rate. Now, remember this, we are dealing with indirect overhead. So when we deal with this, at times Connect is going to try and throw you actual and estimated. Since we're doing with indirect, all these are going to be estimates. We don't know the actual yet. Okay? So again, if you need to look at the formula is right here in your notes. And it's always going to be budgeted or estimate overhead cost divided by whatever the allocation base is. Again, most of the time it's either direct labor or machine hours. So again, always refer back to the notes if you need to. Okay? So for this, we need to find out what rate we're doing with assembly and what rate we are dealing with when it comes to the finishing. So we have to look, and we find out first, assembly is based on direct labor hours. So again, always our estimated overhead, and then we find estimated direct labor hours. And all we're going to do is go ahead and put these in. So we have 1,129,200, and we're going to divide it by good old direct labor hours, which it says is the 11,200. Cool. So we got $100.82 per direct labor hour. Okay. Next part is now doing the finishing. So we find finishing department assigns based on machine hours. Of course, Connect's not going to do both as direct labor. So again, it's our estimated overhead cost divided by our estimated machine hours. Okay, so 520 to 3, and then a good old 15 to 100. Again, always look at that department since it's that department's overhead that we're trying to calculate. Okay, so again, 3421, and that should be per machine hour. So check my work, everything's kosher. We are still going good and strong. So question 3. So question 3 brings out activity base. So the ABC and products A, B, and C, and good old activities 1, 2, 3. So ABC, easy as 1, 2, 3, and we're going to do it right here with the activity driver. Alright, so with our activity driver, we must actually add all these together, which again we're going to be looking at all of these. I wish I could actually blow this up a little bit more for y'all. Sorry if I can't, but we do want to take products A, B, and C and add them together. So let me find my calculator. There's my calculator, and we're going to take 2100 plus 9500 plus good old 7000. So we have 37,500 for activity 1. So 37,500. And to find the rate, all it is taking the expected cost and divided by its expected activity driver. So for me, that was 168,750 divided by the 37,500 should be 4.5. Okay, and of course connect will pop up if we need 2 decimal places. So let's do this again. Finishing off, again we got to add all 3 together. And if you always check my work, you should be fine. Okay, so let's do this. 8,500 plus 16,000 plus 8,000 equals again 32,500. We divide by 113,750. And we end up with 3.5. Close out. And one last one. We got 1875 plus 1,000 plus 2,750. So again, all we're doing is adding up the products and then dividing it into wherever the cost is. I like it when they provide us with the actual cost. 5625. I don't know why I was so bad on that. 95625. And that's a whopping 17 bucks. Wow, activity 3 is definitely not a good one. Okay, so in this way we can actually see how well certain things are. As you can see, activity 3 for some reason is extremely more expensive on its activity rate. So we may want to check into this. Let me see. So we do probably want to go ahead and check in and see how we can probably solve this little thing. Alright, so I mean, this is one of those little things that we would actually go and or analyze, and especially find out why activity 3 is so high. But again, always hit check my work and we're completely done. So let's move ahead and move to number 4. And number 4, basically all it wants you to do in number 4 is divide everything. So, but make sure, I mean, if you want to, go ahead and do this part first. All it is per whatever our driver is. So per part, per batch. This one's per order. For the third one, per invoice, per square feet, and then per model. Okay, and now all we're going to do is divide the two. So 625, 1, 2, 3, divided by 100. So we're at 6.25. Batches is 900,000. Divided by 1,500. So we got 600 per batch. Yay, 105. Divided by, oh, what was it, 700? So 150. And we got 175,000. And again, if y'all ever have any questions whatsoever, please let me know. And I am sure to get back to you, as I do check everything just to see if there's anything going on. So, oh, did that wrong. There we go. So 7.5, and then of course last one. So it does take a while to actually do these. Watch out when you put in a calculator. Make sure you have all the correct zeros. So, and let's see if I did all my math correct. We did. So again, all number 4 is asking for you to do is actually truly just divide into everything. Okay. Alright, moving on to question 5. So question 5 is actually going to bring in a few steps here. First step, again, this is department overhead. We have to deal with molding and trimming. So with molding and trimming, again, it's always our overhead. And notice this time, Connect's not actually making you decipher from actual and estimated. So we're just basically going to be figuring out overhead divided by what they want us to do. Okay, so in this question it actually says molding department is based on machine hours. So that's going to be overhead at cost divided by machine. Okay, so we're going to look at molding, and we find out that its overhead cost is $730,000. So we divide by machine, and we find out that it's 23.93 per machine hour. Okay, trimming of course is going to do the other one, just so that it shows you each one. So overhead cost, and it does state that's direct labor hours. Okay, so not direct labor cost, direct labor hours. Always watch out. And it's 590 divided by 48,000. Alright, so again, if I wish I knew somehow to zoom this up. So if you actually do know a way to zoom using the gaming recorder, please let me know. I'll be more thankful on that, because I'm still learning all this stuff. So, but with that, we have per direct labor hour. So we now have to divide this into our parts. Okay, so our activity driver, of course, for molding was machine hours. So we're going to look up A27C, and we're going to find machine hours for molding, which happens to be 5,100. Okay, and overhead rate was up here in part 1. We already calculated that. That was 23.93. Okay, now for trimming, it was direct labor, so we're going to have 700, and that's going to be times by 12.129. Okay, notice Connect will fill in stuff, and it is going to ask you to actually put in a little bit more information as it figures out. One of this is units produced. So up here in our chart, we can find units produced. It happens to be 9,800, and overhead cost per unit is going to be the 2 divided. So we're going to go back to our calculator. I have 136.46 divided by 9,800. So we got 13.33. And remember, it says round to 2 decimal places. Okay? 13.33. Okay, so with that, we have $13.33. Now, if Connect actually says this is wrong, you may want to move the penny. So, when we do that, oh look, I found out how to zoom in. Nice. So, hopefully this helps. So, we'll zoom in more. Okay, so right here, we have 13.33. Now, again, if Connect tends to say no, don't do this, mean you want to change the pennies. If it's still acting up, just let me know, and I can actually probably check onto it. But again, we're going to do the same thing with X82B. So we're going to look at the activity driver, which right here, again, is machine hours. So 1020. And it's going to already put in the overhead rates that we got up here. So we don't have to worry too much about that. We just need to put in the activity drivers this time around for Connect. And direct labor hours was 3,500. Again, we have to find our units produced. So units produced happens to be 54,500. And then went ahead and divide for us. So also went to the part X82B. It already does most of it to us. And I like that it's now zoomed in. So hopefully it's better for y'all to see. Again, I apologize for prior videos. Did not know it was doing that. Okay? That made it harder to see. So, with this, we're 6. Now we're bringing in ABC. But we're still using more department overhead. So we're going to have the same chart being mixed with us with 6 and 7 to show the difference between the two. So since this is department overhead, we're going to mostly look at the cost for each one. So it's always going to be overhead cost. So I can go ahead and fill that in. And then I'm going to look at what they're going to ask us for. So determine department overhead rate. Base your overhead assignment on components. Department on machine hours. So this is on machine. Alright. So that one's based on machine hours. Use welding hours for finish. Welding. And then assign cost to supporting department based on purchase orders. Okay, so now we can look at overhead cost. So overhead cost for the components is 993,000. And it wants me to actually look up machine hours. So machine hours happens to be 7,850 for this one. Okay, and again, you want to always do per whatever one. Again, check your work just to make sure you're finding the info in the correct places. Okay, it's always in that top chart right up here for the first part. Alright, so overhead cost for finishing is 487,000. Now we gotta go find welding hours. Welding hours is 4,700. And of course, per welding hour. Okay, now we do supporting. supporting was 234,500. And we can go ahead and put this in. We know it's per purchase order. And we had a total of 519. Not too bad. Not too bad at all. Okay, so we have our numbers. Now we got to pull our drivers from model 145, which of course now is this chart, the second one. Okay, so the first one was all about machine hours, which was 2,550. Again, you want to pull it the same as the one that you actually did per. So finishing is welding. So welding was 1,000. And support uses purchase orders of 346. Alright, and now it's going to ask you for the rates, and all it is these numbers right here. So just like the prior question, all we have to do, oh, that's 50, is basically insert our numbers and just follow the line. So, and then 451.83. Alright, so with this we're going to find units produced, and units produced was 2,200. Alright, and they want us to go ahead and divide the two, so we're going to take 582. It was 583. 528. That was close. Alright, divided by 2,200. And we come out to 266.15. Remember, it's a 9, it's closer to 5. So 266.15. Okay, and of course, let's make sure everything's kosher with this one. And now it's telling me that there is something wrong. Okay, so let me double check. I put all the numbers in. I did not. Look at that. I'm so bad at this. 264.79. And that's the thing that you gotta like. Sometimes you go back and forth and you just happen to put in the wrong number in the calculator. It happens. Everybody's human. So 264.79. And let's see if my math is now correct. I put everything in the calculator. It is. So let's go ahead and finish off the last product. And again, Nose Connect is going to bring down some, but won't do it down here. They're so mean. It should, right? So again, machine hours, 5,300. We got welding, 3,700. And then support is a grand total of 173. Okay, units produced was 3,020. And overhead cost per unit is the division of these two. Goody, big number right there. 1132011. I don't know why I did that. So 1132011. Good. And we had 3,020. Okay. So 374.88 or 84. Dang. Okay. And as we go through these, since there's multiple requirements, you definitely want to double check, make sure everything's correct in the first part before we move on to part number 2. Okay. Required 2. Okay. This is going to tell us this. It says determine the total cost per unit of each product line if direct labor and direct material costs per unit are 240 for model 145 and 140 for model 212. So it already gives us the numbers. So all we gotta do is match it up. 240, 140, and now it's going to ask us for the overhead cost per unit. Well, we've already found this in required 1. This is right here, the division that we had. So 264.79. And it's going to add them up for us. Again, this is total cost per unit, so we're finding the total cost. And 374.84. Okay, so again, since we're moving on to now our require 3, check these, make sure all numbers are still put in. They are still correct. So we move on to require 3. Now, it says if the market price for model 145 is $1,325 and the market price for 212 is $270, determine the profit or loss. Alright, so again, gives us our first numbers that we put in our chart. And now we gotta go to require 2 and find our cost. This happens to be $504.79. And 212 was $514.84. Okay, so now it's time to find the profit or loss per unit. So basically, it's going to be our market price subtracted by the cost. So with this, we have 1325 minus 504.79 equals out to 820.21. So there's a profit here. Still a positive number. And definitely on model 212, we can definitely see this is going to be a loss. Cost is already over. So let's see how much it's over by. So 270 minus 514.84 equals a negative 244.84. Okay. So negative 244.84. And since it's a loss, you do have to put the minus sign for the connect to understand it's a loss. So let's check the work. Again, it says everything correct. We are good to go. Remember, we always love this answer is complete and correct. So 7. 7's going to run the same problem. Except, of course, they changed up the numbers. But they're going to run it through ABC. So with this, they give us this nice old big old chart, and really they've already filled in our expected costs, which are right up here, and our actual driver. So they've already done that. All we have to do is divide each one. So let's go ahead and do that. So we're going to find our activity rate. So it's 408,250 divided by 710, 575. Okay, and it's going to go ahead and put in where our activity rate is. So that's fine and dandy. We love that. More stuff that they do for us. So 379,890. And then we have divide by 8,100, 4690, 224,400. As you can see, it does take a little bit longer to basically start with these, but really the cool thing is that it does give us more of an accurate shot of what's going on with each one. Which one's costing us the most? Is there a way that we can actually fix that? So 322,240 divided by 5,300. Oh, my calculator just went big. So 60, 60, 80. Okay, so 330. Whoops. And that's being divided by 825. So again, I'm trying to get through these as quickly as possible so that you're trying to see what the next step is. So 58,800 divided by good old 210. 280. Okay, and then purchasing 185,440 divided by 488. That's 380. And 69,480 divided 69 divided by 3,600. That's $19.30. Okay, so now we finally got all of our activity rates. Here, Connect's also going basically tell us to put the activity driver per each model. So we're going to actually have to look up here, and we'll go and fill in the items. So first one is batches, because this is per batch, and they both have 355 and 355. It's going to ask you for the overhead assign, which is basically 575 times 355. So it should actually be over here too, so they already did it for us. If you need to look at the calculator, again, go here, 575 times 355. So it does come out the same way. We love it when they both have the same number. Okay, so next is per machine hour. So let's go find per machine hour. We have 2,750 for this one. And then we have 5,350 for the other product. Awesome. Make sure I put that in. Yep. And again, all Connect wants you to do is multiply the first two, and it's going to start doing everything else. So 46.90 times 2,750 equals 128,975. Okay, so let's start knocking these out. So setup 60/60, cool. Alright, machine welding hours, we have, looks like 2,000 and 3,300. Notice that I'm just basically putting in as we go each one, because it's just a little bit easier instead of doing all once and then going back to the list and then doing it again. So this one is now, what is it, per inspection. So inspections 475, 350. Okay. Now we look at per rework order. 120 and 90. Alright. Per purchase order, we have 325 and 163. Per unit, okay, so per unit, we definitely look at 1,200 and 2,400. Make sure, double check, yeah. So Again, before you move on, you can always hit check my work. Make sure you input all the numbers from those charts. Yep, we got everything in correctly. Now we can move on to the next step. So, luckily for us, one is per unit, so I don't have to go back up to the chart. I can just insert those because we want to know units produced, which of course was 1,200 for the first part and 2,400 for the second. Again, all we gotta do is do the division. So 937,160 divided by 1,200 equals out to 780.97. Okay, again, you're rounding to the hundredths place. So you can't forget to do that. Because again, this is money. Money's always rounded to the hundredths. We don't have fractions of a penny. Okay? Do you rounds up or rounds down? Nothing more, nothing less. Okay? So 1 million, so 1,041,340. And this is being divided by 2,400. So this one has 433.89. Again, we're going to check to make sure our math is correct and I put it in correctly, didn't mess up like before. Everything's good. Now we can move on to required 2. Okay? So with required 2, again, we're looking at the same thing in 6. It's going to give us the actual cost for our labor and materials. Happens to be 230 per unit for 145 and 114 for model 212. Okay? Oh crud. No, still going. Okay, cool. So with this, I had a pop-up go on, but we're still going on with the overhead cost per unit. So this is found in required 1. So 780.97. And then this one's going to be 433.89. Okay, so we've got our total cost per unit. Now we want to hit to require 3. And this is again going to give us our total items. So 1011.61. And then 548.31. And then we just import our cost that Connect's already added for us. So 1,010.97. 1097. Oh, I was totally off. And then required 2, 433.89. And again, all we have to do is subtract the 2. So 1011.67 minus 1010.97. We found out that this one only has a profit of 70 cents, while model 212 433.89 has a profit of 114.42. Okay, so I did the boo-boo. I put in the wrong number. That happens. See? Again, mistakes do happen. It's always good just to put in. I was just worried about another pop-up happening. So, watch out. Always put in. So, this is actually 548.31 minus 547.89. So that's 42 cents. Alright. Alright, check that one. Man, I am not having good putting stuff in this calculator. Oh my. Man, I made more mistakes just putting stuff in that calculator than anything. Alright, so check my work. And again, now it's all correct. So that's the one advantage of check my work. Okay? So, again, it'll let you know if you put stuff in the calculator wrong. Which, apparently I'm doing a lot in this one. Okay. So, part A, question 8 is now giving us, again, more to ABC. Except we're going to have to actually look in. They're trying to figure out if this is accurate, which is actually using department, but we're going to go ABC. So we're going to allocate this 54,300 of overhead costs incurred per 2 product lines and see what's going on. So what's this? Our overhead cost for supervision was $2,172. Depreciation was $29,000. And then assembly line was $23,128. Cool. Now we get to find out the activity drivers. So let's see if they put the activity drivers anywhere. Oh, look, they put it right here. Direct labor costs, machine hours, and setup. Okay? So, in this chart right here, it actually gives us the total. What's going on? So, these totals are our activity drivers. So, we have 18,100. Machine hours is 900. And setup is 125. Notice this. When we have money divided by money, it's going to cancel out these units. And it's basically going to make a percentage going on here. So, with that, let's take that division. So, let's go and mess with me. Anyway, so we have 2,172 divided by, for me, about 18,100. And also, since it's in a decimal form, they kind of sometimes like the rate, but it is 12%. Notice again, as soon as you put numbers in, Connect is going to start filling stuff out to kind of help you what's going on. So, again, we're going to do the same part. We have 2,900, or, yeah, 29,000 divided by 900. So this ends up with 32.22. And then we do our setups, 23,128 divided by 125. So we got 185 and 0.2. Okay, so again, always look at the red. It always says round to 2 decimal places. And here we're only dealing with 3 activities. We're not dealing with the tons of activities we just had in part 7. So again, activity rates, basically bringing it down. So nothing there is different. It's just bringing down its unique items. Next, it's going to ask us for activity drivers incurred. So with rounded edge, it's going to be these right here. So 100. Then it's going to be 330. Okay, and they go ahead and do the multiplication for us for the setup. All we got to do is for direct labor cost and per machine hour. Now watch out. Supervision again is in percentage form. So when we multiply, remember you gotta multiply by the percentage. So that's 732. Okay, and then now we take 32.22 times 300. This, yeah. So 9. Alright. So remember, these are okay. They're alright. This one's the only one that you have to convert because it's the only one that is a percentage. Okay? Again, check my work always to check your math, see what's going on. We're still going good. And now all we have to do is finishing up with squared edge. And all Connect wants us to do is input the drivers incurred. It is going to automatically do the multiplication. So we have 12,695. So it ends up being 38,349. Next, it's going to tell us to input stuff down here at the bottom. First, it's total direct material cost. So we find that actually up here. And it's really rounded edge, square edge, but it wants total for each one. So we have 9,700 and 21,700. Next, it's going to tell you do the total direct labor costs. Okay, so we have 6,100 and 12,000. Alright, and it wants the total overhead costs in ABC. So that's going to be these two numbers that we've already figured out. Okay, and now it wants to know the total production of feet. So to find total production of feet, it's up here. So we got 10,500 and 14,200. So the last part is basically divide. So 31749 divided by 10,500. So it's going to be $3.02. Now we got 72,049 divided by our square feet of 14,200. And this ends up being $5.07. Okay, check my work, make sure everything's kosher. Everything is cool. And that's it for question 8. It just does everything here, no requirements. The only thing to watch out is where you're getting your information. So here, most of the information is coming up here. The only thing is, if you don't use this total cost, we're using the overhead cost that we've already figured out. Okay? That's it for question 8. Question number 9. 9 and 10, as you can see down here, they're chain gang. Okay? So they're going to use the same information, just probably a little different ways. So let's see what we've got. Craft Pro, they are going to use overhead cost. They look additional information and drivers for its production activities are as follows. Okay. Question 9 wants you to basically classify each activity as unit level, batch level, production level, or facility level. Alright. So this is actually kind of interesting on how they try to figure this out. They don't really give us too much info on this. We're basically trying to figure it out on our own. So really, this is just mostly a trial and error question. There's nothing really to tell us what's going on except a little bit of, well, grinding and polishing. They're both using machine hours, so it's figuring that they're probably going to be on the unit level, while product modification has product in its name. So I would probably think on product level. Providing power is probably going to be on the facility level. I mean, facility is the same thing as factory. And then system calibration uses batches. So I would probably use batch level. Okay, that's just trying to figure out. Again, with Connect, it gives you all these so you can go back and check my work. But that's really all that 9 is figuring out what level they fall under. Don't ask me, it's just one of those strange little things that comes around. So that's basically all for question 9. So question 10 is really what we're focusing on. I don't know why question 9 exists, but this is basically what we've got going on. So, simple chapter here. All we're doing is now figuring out overhead costs, activity drivers, activity rate, and activity driver incurred. Okay? And we get assigned to our jobs. So everything's right here. It's just really long. We're going to have to scroll horizontal. Okay, so first things first, we'll notice that our activity level, grinding and polishing, is both together. So we must actually add these two together first for our costs. So overhead cost, indirect labor, indirect materials. We have 360,000 and 165,000. So go to your calculator. And it's about 525,000. So 525. And then activity drivers per machine hour, which we already have up here. And lucky for me, they're both together as the same number as 11,000. So that should be 22,000. Okay, let's go with product modification. It's only 550. And it is engineer hours, which happens to be 1,400. Providing power is 225,000. And it's 19,000 itself. And system calibration, we found out it's 440,000. And it is 1,050 batches. Okay, cool. So this is bringing us further closer to finish up chapter 17. So now we have to find our activity rate, which of course is dividing the two. So first, taking 525 divide by the 22,000, we find out it's $23.86. Okay, again, Connect's going to fill out the labels for you. All we got to do is divide. $1,400, 392.86. Alright, so now we got providing power is 225 because we're bringing the wattage. Turn out for watt. Alright, and that's being divided by 19,000. So $11.84. Alright, per direct labor hour. Then the last one is 440 divided by good old fashioned 1,050. 419 and 5 cents. 419. Okay. So again, check my work to make sure the division's all correct, and it looks like I messed up somewhere. And it's telling me my machine hours is wrong. Maybe that would seem weird since it's grinding and polishing. Let's see if that one's just 11,000. Because honestly, if we had to add the cost, we should add up the machine hours. But since they're putting them both together, I guess all they want is the 11,000. So that seems weird that Connect wants to do that. But since they're saying that they're combined, I guess they only use 11,000 machine hours. Okay, so again, that's just weird. So we just have to fix that one. So if you have one of these calculators, you can go right back, just insert. So $47.73. So again, that's the one thing with Connect. Sometimes Connect goes, no, it's supposed to be that way. Even though we put numbers to both, we really just mean that it's just one number. Don't add. Okay, that's fine, dandy. That's good for us. We'll just do that. Okay, so always double check, make sure everything's good, and we're good right there. Alright, but for me, if each of those have 11,000 assigned to it, that would kind of figure that we should have added. So, but it's okay, we'll make it through. Alright, so activity driver incurred. We're going to find our activity drivers for each one. So this is going to cause us to go back and forth. So 210 and wait, that's units. Machine hours is 350 and 3,500. You would not tell that I'm doing this probably late at night, huh? So many mistakes that I'm doing. Ooh. Okay, so per engineer hour we have 33, 30. Okay, and this is per direct labor hour. We have 460 and 140. And then last but not least, batches 30 and 90. 30 and 90. Okay. And we can go ahead and put the units in. So 210 down here. And it's going to be 2,625 for our other job. Okay, so the only ones that we actually have to do any kind of calculations to, because Connect's already filling in most of our numbers, is machine hours and engineering hours, the overhead assigned for job 3175. So of course we're going to multiply. So 47.73 times 350 equals 16,705. And of course it's going around for you because it doesn't want you to actually use cent and percent cents in this. Woo! So 392.86. And this is times by 33 equals 12,964. Okay. Check just to make sure we're on the right path. And something's up. Did I put the wrong number? Probably did. Let's go look. 2625. And I transposed. So, series of mistakes not actually happening. This is why Connect is so good. I don't know why I keep switching my numbers. Seems my hands are not transferring very well. So, let's take 47,688 divided by 210. Says our cost per unit should be 227.09. Okay. Next one we have 265,574. divided by the 2625. Okay, should be 101 and 17. Okay, check my work. Are units correct? Yes, they are. And there we go. Okay, so you're going to find out with homework 17, there is tons of repeats getting you basically ready on how to basically solve these types of problems. So this is mostly just knowing what operations to do, find the average, knowing to add or subtract, to multiply, how the formulas work. Okay, so again, you probably want to go ahead and check out again your chapter 17 notes and see what happens, and we're good to go. So that's it for chapter 17. Hope you enjoyed. So concluding, this has been another exciting chapter in Accounting 2302 Homework with your host, Professor Naragon, signing off and wishing you good luck.